Ever wondered what goes on behind closed doors? We do it 6-8 times a day. But mothers say, don't talk about it. It's embarrassing, downright dirty. So almost anywhere you go, it's a taboo. But why this coyness over a natural urge? Why the blushes when we whisper, sorry, I've got to go? This is a story of 3 men out to break our ultimate taboo. Sometimes size matters. The city-state of Singapore is tiny, no larger than New York City, but with a big reputation to live up to. It's a manicured metropolis, not a hair out of place, and anal about keeping it that way. Just the kind of city to inspire this dream. Meet Jack, an out-of-the-box regular Joe. Sometimes Jack calls himself Superloo.
Yes, good. One more time.
More often he's known as president of the WTO, his World Toilet Organization, a movement he began with $80,000 from his savings. His methods may seem potty, but the media darling will do anything for his mission. Better toilets for all.
Good. Hold your plunger higher, we try. Very nice.
You spend a lot of time talking about drinking and eating and make an art out of it, but you refuse to admit that after that what happened? No, on the way out it's also a culture, because toilet is culture. Toilet is something you do 6 to 8 times a day, and if you do it so often, it's your culture. So we have to talk about it, and we have to enjoy that part of it as well.
The thing about toilets is that it turns us off, or we laugh it off. There's hardly any middle ground. Today, people may be more comfortable talking about sex, and fewer believe that women have to be coy. The old taboos are slowly dying. But the first thing we do in the morning is still the last thing we'll talk about in polite company. When Jack founded the WTO, the odds were his would be a one-man crusade for some time. But 5 years on, guess what?
It's going to be a very, very big meeting. Very exciting. I'm looking forward to this meeting.
This afternoon, Jack is off to China.
Keep left.
His World Toilet Organization is open for business in 40 countries. Tomorrow, members will gather for its annual conference, the 4th World Toilet Summit. By any standard, Jack's WTO is a classic success story.
Bye-bye. Have a good trip.
But when was the last time anyone took a toilet expert seriously?
Don't go karaoke. I think it won't happen. I told him that, and I say, and people will call me Liam Ban So, you know? You know, Liam Ban So means Mrs. Toilet in Teochew. So that's not a very nice term for me. Bye. See you.
Bye-bye.
Years ago, Beijing, host city of the World Toilet Summit, had just 8 public toilets. Even in the Forbidden City, royal palace to the Chinese emperors, were 10,000 rooms, but not a single toilet. So this is how the day began for the last emperor to sit on the throne.
This is Puyi, the last emperor of China. And in the room deep in the Forbidden City, lies the last of the royal toilets. The seat was made of wood, but like all the imperial toilets of the Qing dynasty, the pan was crafted from silver. Following court's tradition, it was carried out of the royal chapel by eunuchs. Then it was cleaned before it was used again. It was deodorized with the ash of pine resin.
Meanwhile, outside the palace, China's toilets remain the stuff of urban legends. Until official Ma Kanding.
完了，我跟郭丽说一声，他去盖就完了。啊，我知道，完了，哎，行了。
Official Ma has been given a mission. He has to spruce up Beijing's toilets in time for the nation's coming-of-age party, the 2008 Olympic Games. Like any Olympic city, Beijing will build a stadium, highways, and even a new airport. But China also has clean toilets on its list. Today, official Ma heads down for a quick inspection. Experts from the World Toilet Summit will arrive soon. Ma needs to get the word out that China's notorious toilets are a thing of the past.
这个非常好，侧位显空气。如果您来如厕的话，你看有人红色的关门了，这个您可以随便利用，没有人，非常好用。
Welcome to the toilet at Tiananmen Square. Capacity: 6,000 users a day. Status: showcase of the Olympic Toilet Project. Its secret: made in China ingenuity.
这个厕所呀，是在
This toilet is in the capital of China, right at its heart, in Tiananmen Square. It has to be the best.
这个厕所必须要把它建好。
But when the world's toilet experts converge for their summit, will official Ma's project pass their eagle eyes? China's pride is at stake. It's time for a pop quiz. Who invented the flush toilet? Kids are taught Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone and Thomas Edison the light bulb. But what about the flush toilet? It seems the first flush toilet was made for Queen Elizabeth I by her godson, John Harrington. Sir John. But it was another Englishman who made it popular, a certain Thomas Crapper. And yes, that's how that became a rude word. As for the inventor behind the toilet paper we use today, anyone heard of American Joseph Gaiety? His name's been almost wiped off the history books. So what was it like before these inventions came along? In old Europe, people would throw everything out the window with shouts of "Gardy! Loo!" But the story doesn't end there. In a corner of India, the forgotten tale is constantly being retold. And this morning, something seems to be stirring. Binshwa Pathak is getting a centerpiece for his unusual museum. A story of human civilization told through toilets.
This is a toilet in medieval Europe. People, when they used to go for hunting, they used to carry this toilet for defecation. I think it's very good design. you see it's in medieval period, 15th century, 16th century.
Dr. Pathak has spent over 10 years on his museum, tracking piece by piece a story few have bothered to write down. But his story is far from complete, and Dr. Pathak's still looking for some missing pieces.
This say the toilet for the elephants. In India, nobody considers a prestigious job to work for the toilet. But for me, it has become a religion for me.
Meanwhile, back in Beijing, 1,000 days is all that stands between China and the biggest party it's ever had, the 2008 Olympic Games. Tonight, the mood hits fever pitch as the nation gears up for an Olympic version of Chinese Idol. China will vote for a song to capture the spirit of the Beijing Games. This morning, another milestone in China's Olympic ambition kicks in. Beijing plays host to the World Toilet Summit. So what goes on at a toilet summit? The headlines screamed what people were thinking, a flush of excitement. But the delegates had this to say.
Now I will read the declaration of the 4th World Toilet Summit in Beijing. Hereby we declare that toilet embodies the material and spiritual well-being of a country and a region.
Their message was simple. While we continue to joke about this taboo, over 2 billion people do not even have a simple toilet in their homes.
Thank you.
It's the last day of the World Toilet Summit. An official Ma takes the delegates on a tour of his projects. After 2 days of talking, it was time for a hands-on feel. The verdict? With Beijing splashing 12 million a year on its loos, the experts were bowled over. For official Ma, the summit has shown the world a different China. But if only life was so simple. Away from the prying eyes of the world's toilet experts is the setting for the next stage of the Olympic toilet project. Beijing's Hutong district is an old neighborhood of courtyard homes. Its first brush with modern plumbing came in the 1960s. Modern by the standards of Mao's Red China. Tucked between the homes are communal toilets, shared by some 30 families and best found by following your nose. But 50 years ago, even communal toilets were a great leap forward. In a country with more people than its farms could feed, waste was never wasted. It was carted from chamber pots in the cities to the fields. The carriers were hailed as communist heroes. One man stinks, so others stay clean. But 50 years later, with 1,000 days to the Olympics, a different revolution is sweeping through the cities of China. The old communal toilets are no longer good enough.
I don't know. 就想问一下啊，这个厕所你常来吗？
我常来，我常来这儿。
为什么不用家厕所？
家里厕所呀，太糟糕了，太糟糕了。
怎么个糟糕法？
我无法形容。
你可以带我们去看吗？
可以，我带你们看看去。
Here's a a hint of what the Olympic toilet project is up against.
你看，你们自个儿看去吧，啊，我就不进去了，你们自个儿看去吧。
Residents claim that this toilet hasn't been cleaned for 5 years.
你想想啊。